Wildcraft is an online animal simulator that is no stranger to rumors of, and sometimes real, creepy entities existing within the game. Some stories revolve around hackers, others around strange glitches, and some even imply that the paranormal is present within the game. But the most recent entity has left players both mortified and struggling to find an explanation for its existence. This is Chase, one of Wildcraft's most horrifying mysteries to date. Chase appears as a black wolf with an abnormally long and gummy mouth, sharp ears, and crimson-colored eyes. It can spawn in any map at any time, but it is more likely to appear during late hours of the night. Chase will only appear if two specific requirements are met. First, the player has to be playing alone, whether they choose to play in single player or are by themselves in a multiplayer game. The second requirement is that the player needs to be connected to the internet, which is the reason that many players believe Chase is not something paranormal or an NPC, but rather a hacker of sorts. To avoid Chase, it is recommended that you either always play the game with one or more other players, turn your Wi-Fi off when you play in single player, and, for extra safety, only play during the daytime hours. It is not ever recommended that you search for Chase. Chase will not just randomly appear out of nowhere during normal gameplay, and there are several stages that the player will experience before Chase appears. If Chase has entered your game, the first signs will be subtle, but noticeable. First, whatever animal you're playing as will begin to visibly shiver and check their surroundings frequently, as if they feel like they're being watched and followed. In addition to this, certain audios can be heard at random times, including sounds of stepping, panting, or bushes rustling. If you notice these signs while you're playing the game, stop running as your animal and immediately leave, as this is the only stage that allows you to avoid a confrontation with Chase. After the first stage, closing Wildcraft or turning off your Wi-Fi will only work as a temporary fix, as the moment you open the game again with an internet connection, you will be teleported back to the scene exactly how you left it, on the same map, in the same spot, with the same animal, everything, all as if you never escaped in the first place. If you stay until the second stage, congratulations, you're trapped. A faint, red fog will begin to manifest all around the map's ground as your animal begins to shiver more violently, now frequently snapping its head around to check its surroundings in a more panicked and twitchy manner. Do not run during this stage. Only walk. Running will trigger an immediate pursuit where Chase will come after you, and this will always result in losing and being caught. Assuming the player stays and slows the animal down, the red mist will continue to rise and become thicker until no mountain or den can escape it, and the player can only see a few meters ahead. Then, the confrontation. Chase will finally show itself by walking out of the fog and towards the player, where it will then stop and stand near them, glaring at your animal with a wide, threatening smile. The player's animal will then become unable to move, as if it is frozen in fear. Chase will then take another step forward and lower its body, as if it's preparing to lunge at the player, and it's at that point when two options will display on screen for the player to choose between: run or defend. If the player chooses to run, they will be given the option to run with their character again, but they will be chased and quickly caught regardless of their speed. All animals caught by Chase will be attacked violently on screen until their bodies go limp. Then, Chase will stare into the game camera and snicker over the body, and its body will distort while the game fades to black and resets. When the player reopens the game, they will find that they have permanently lost the animal that they were playing as, and in its place will be a default level 1 of that animal. However, there is still a way to avoid losing your animal, which brings us to our second option: defend. If the player chooses to defend themselves, their animal will stand their ground and Chase will lunge at them. The player must then participate in a difficult minigame where they need to click parts of the screen quickly to block Chase's attacks. At the end of the minigame, the player gets an opening to hit Chase, and if they do, Chase will visibly start to distort and stumble back before sinking under the map floor, the red mist disappearing with it. Then, the game will go back to normal, and the player gets to keep their animal, assuming they don't encounter Chase again and fail to handle it properly. Thank you guys for watching! I'd like to thank some lovely people for helping with today's video, namely artist.koyomi on TikTok for the concept art of Chase, as well as Unknown Epsilon for creating the original writing concept. Being completely honest, I was in a bit of a pinch for some content ideas lately, so the help from these two is beyond appreciated, and also the reason I was able to create this video. With that said, have a great day or night, and subscribe for more horror content.